Room 237 is a Jumperscape audio production. Ah, stranger, we've missed you. Join us in Room 237.
My name is James Paulis, lead host of the Room 237 show. I set out on a quest to talk about ghosts with my two crewmates, Ashton Bavis and Shane Taylor.
Hello.
I never believed in podcasts until I came face to face with one.
Was that the intro?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've started doing this random BS for my intro.
Well, I mean, I like that.
Shane,
it's a lot more fun.
You've been missing it. He will just be talking and I'll turn my head for 2 seconds and then he just presses record and is like, hi, welcome to 237. And I go, what?
Oh, he doesn't give a countdown or anything like that.
No,
Who would do
jump
such a
scares
thing?
me.
The one of the hosts of the library would. I mean, he doesn't even give a countdown.
This
No,
is
he
a
just
safe
starts.
space. He isn't
Yeah.
here.
He has a method to, hi, welcome to the library. We're going to talk about Halo. I don't do that.
No, he just starts saying things
I
and
do
then
cheesy
expects me.
Intro relating to the film. Speaking of which, we're talking about Grave Encounters today.
If you've heard of it.
If anyone's heard of it.
Probably not.
I'm sure
many.
you already hear his voice, but Shane from the library has joined us today. He's graced us with his presence.
Hello, thank you guys for having me. I'm happy to be here. That's so. That's so fucked
To be fair,
up.
I meant to hit the.
I don't know which one is worse.
I thought you were trying to hit the
I would have preferred that.
I was like, no, James, it's the wrong button.
Well, thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, thank you.
And then it's me, James, as usual.
And me, Ashton.
Well, so today, Grave Encounters, I didn't look at what their names were. It was directed by the Vicious Brothers, which is the sickest
Scary.
name of all time. Came out in 2011, and this is one of me and Shane's childhood trauma movies.
Yes, I thought you were gonna say childhood, like movies. I'm glad you said childhood traumas because that's so accurate. I've never wanted a movie to be over so fast in my. Now it wasn't that bad, but as a kid, me and James would just literally watch the movie with one eye open with a blanket covering our face because we were scared absolutely shitless of this movie.
I just have vivid memories of the first time that me and Shane watched this movie being I remember we had a mattress that we just it was movie night. It was not just me and Shane. It was a couple other friends.
Yep.
But we had a movie night. We wanted to get two scary movies and we were going to watch. And we watched this and Child's Play 3 for some reason.
What a weird combination.
But there was pizza, there was popcorn, there was pop. It was prime middle school sleepover. It was good memories. So honestly, that might color our opinions of this movie. I do think it holds up.
No, that's what I said. As soon as it was over, I'm like, I'm glad that holds up because I found myself in some of the more tense scenes. My heart was still pounding a little bit. I'm like, holy shit, my heart is still pounding after all these years watching this.
It is definitely a direct-to-video, found footage movie. It looks like one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the premise is so fun, I don't care. So basically, this whole movie is, what if Ghost Adventures actually some stuff happened to them?
And that's
some really out of pocket stuff.
And that's part of what makes it so scary in the beginning. Cause I watch a lot of ghost hunting videos on YouTube and stuff. And it's not that scary. You're oh, they're interacting with ghosts. It's kind of scary, but it's not ooh, I'm gonna see. Every single time something happened, I was I could actually see a physical face in a window or something, and I don't like that. It's so different because if you're actually watching a Ghost Hunters or Ghost Ghost Adventures or Sam and Colby, you're gonna see is really lights flashing, doors maybe closing. stuff
The
like
huge.
that. The usual, like
A
actual
heinous
ghost
amount
stuff.
of EVPs.
Yeah, but you're not gonna see like a face or distortion really.
So unfortunately, there's not a skeptic in the room. I'm pretty sure we all believe in ghosts at this table.
Correct.
Don't ruin my
Correct.
fun, okay? That's all I'll say. Don't ruin my fun.
Literally
It doesn't hurt you if someone believes in ghosts.
argue
so you don't
with
have
the
to-
wall.
Yeah, argue with a wall because I will not respond to any actuallys that I get.
I don't care.
Ghosts are
don't wanna hear
fun.
it.
Ghosts are cool. Let me believe in ghosts, damn it.
Yep.
I have not personally experienced anything that I can concretely say was a ghost, but I want to. That might be a bad thing to want, but
I want
want
to
to.
go. I want to go to the Stanley Hotel so bad.
see, I want to go to Stanley Hotel, but also Mansfield Reformatory is like right there, and they do overnight like ghost investigations that we can do.
But I feel like Stanley Hotel has a lot more positive spirits than negative.
Well, you can sit that one out then.
Mansfield Reformatory, like I've been there during daylight hours and it freaks me.
Me and Shane will go be acoustic ghost adventures.
Yup.
I'm a little bit sensitive with ghosts. Like I've been in places where I know there is a ghost, and the sensitive people have not had good times at the Mansfield Reformatory. People who are sensitive to ghost activity.
Yeah. Well, at the bare minimum, I believe that buildings like that can at least store like a depressing energy at the very least.
People leave there with scratches.
When I went to incarceration last summer with one of my buddies, which is a metal festival that's hosted at this prison.
Which is so metal.
No, it's amazing. It was amazing. And they do full on, they don't do ghost tours and like ghost hunts during the day. But they let you just walk through like a good section of the prison. If any of you guys have seen Shawshank Redemption, that's what was filmed there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where Shawshank Redemption was filmed. And like they took you through like all the rooms where a lot of the scenes were. And then there was like legitimate signs in certain corridors. Like there was warning signs like visitors have experienced paranormal activity in this section of the prison. Please proceed with caution.
The chair room.
Yeah, there was the chair room. I don't know if it was a gag or like a legitimate warning. I feel like it could very well be both.
I will never step another foot in the chair room.
Yeah,
I stepped one foot in there and it like I felt like I felt like the blood rush away from my face and like I was scared.
The energy was different. Like when you like, I'm not even saying that just to say that, but like you walk in knowing like a lot of the things that happened, walking by the cells. It is a different energy. If anyone listens and wants pictures, I took a shit ton while I was there last year. If you just want to talk to me,
I went there during a haunt event, so
yeah,
I didn't have time to take in my surroundings.
No, I was just during the day. It's nice.
I'd be like, wow, look at these cell blocks, and then someone come out, and I'm like, okay,
okay, moving. No, I got to me and Ethan took our time and just got to take a bunch of videos.
Yeah,
it was nice. I promise this is relevant to the movie we watched.
It really is.
Speaking of which, it's a mockumentary. For those of you who are unfamiliar, a mockumentary is essentially a fake documentary. The Office is like the loosest version of mockumentary that you can come up with.
It's the most like
just because they talk to the camera
famous
doesn't mean
mockumentary. It's literally a mockumentary. That's the whole point of it.
Okay, well,
the documentary, the end of the show is where they celebrate the documentary coming out, and everyone.
Well, I've never watched The Office, so
James, your opinion does not matter.
Moving.
You know, it doesn't. Jesus.
Mockumentary. It opens with like a producer, and he's just like, "What you're going to see, this is real. This is not a movie." And it's like, you're either lame and you go, "No, it is a movie," or you just get into it.
You know, you don't have to make fun of me.
I forgot you did that. And then you just kind of strap in and be like, yes, this is not a movie. Let's go. The effects will at times remind you it is a movie, unfortunately, but you strap yourself in, you say, let's go. And we meet the Grave Encounters crew, and they show their whole TV intro. And it's so amazingly just the Ghost Adventures intro that it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's parodying more than it is trying to set up, but it also works as setting up. It's like both setting up this fictional show while at the same time clearly making fun of paranormal investigation
I was
shows.
going to say, definitely not just Ghost Adventures. It was like stereotyping all Ghost Hunter
yeah.
shows. It was making fun of like all of them.
For me, I think it's the voiceover is what makes it more, because he literally goes, "My name is Lance Preston."
No, it is it's almost to a T. It's almost to a T.
But yeah, his name is Lance
used to
Preston.
believe in ghosts.
Yeah, Lance Preston. There was Sasha, TC.
We had Lance Preston, Sasha Parker, T.C. Gibson. I should probably say the actors. Lance Preston was played by Sean Rogerson. Sasha Parker was played by Ashley Grisco. T.C. Gibson was Merwin Monsieur. Matt White was played by Han Riedinger. Yeah. And that was all
That's
of them?
the cast of the movie.
No,
It's a
wait,
pretty
we're
small
still
cast.
missing one, aren't we?
Who are we missing?
The
Houston.
freaking medium, Houston.
Houston. Is he not
Where's-
credited?
There he is, Mackenzie Gray,
There you go.
And
You're
that's
welcome,
our
Mackenzie.
Grave Encounters crew.
played by Mackenzie Gray played Houston Gray. Crazy.
That is a crazy reach right there. But I love Lance Preston because he's just Zach Bagans.
Oh yeah,
He's just Zach Bagans. Well, we learn a little bit of the backstory of their location. It's an asylum called the Collingwood Hospital, right? Is that correct? The Collingwood, mental hospital, something along those lines. State hospital. State penitentiary.
No, it
it's not a
wasn't.
penitentiary.
it wasn't a state hospital. It was just built when the state hospital.
That's
like
right.
The real hospital
Overcrowded.
name, or
The one in the movie. Like the movie's name. I know it's
okay.
Collingwood.
I'm
I just
trying
don't
to
know.
find the it was
Semantics.
A house,
Yeah.
hospital.
Semantics.
Yep.
It's called Collingwood something.
Collingwood Psychiatric Hospital.
Okay, there we go. I was missing a word. I knew I was missing a word. It was the obvious psychiatric word. So we learn about how, suffering, death, the average mental institution like pre-1950 and even a little after. But the main person we learn about is Arthur Friedkin, who was a big fan of lobotomies. That's all we really know, is that he performed a lot of them. And that one night he got stabbed to death by a bunch of inmates, and that it got covered up because the news of Babe Ruth dying was bigger. But this show just does such a... This whole first 20 minutes of the show is just complete parody of every ghost hunting show. Like doing the interviews, like they're interviewing like the caretaker and like just saying stuff like, "So, would you say that this was an intelligent haunting or a residual haunting?" Turning to the camera, "An intelligent haunting is a ghost who can interact with the world. A residual haunting is when it's events from the past being replayed on a loop." Like, it's so funny how at one point they're they're explaining the rules of the universe we're in, but at the same time making fun of these types of shows.
Don't forget to mention my favorite actor in this movie who was playing the expert. I'm trying to see. Was it Friedkin? Arthur Friedkin?
No, that was the name of the lobotomy guy
Oh,
that I was just talking
was it
about.
Morgan?
I don't
Yeah,
think
it
his
was. It was
name
Morgan
matters.
Turner. Morgan Turner.
Yes.
This guy.
I don't know
was
if I
doing-
believe in ghosts, but
He had the most killer line. He was like, I don't know if I believe a ghost, but if they would be somewhere, it would be here. And I was like,
Dun,
this,
dun, dun.
this guy has
the
been
most-
sleeping on this line for forever.
but the most realistic part is he does an awkward giggle after he says it.
Yes.
Like the interviews are so real to these shows. Like me and Shane have watched hella Ghost Adventures in our time.
Yup.
And all the interviews are like this.
They're all just like super awkward. They don't know whether to look at the camera or Zach Bagans, or in this case, Lance. They don't
Lance.
know. They don't know who to look at. He even references that. He's like, "Oh, should I look at the camera or should I look at you?" And they're like, "No, just pretend the camera isn't here." Like the first 30 minutes of the movie is literally just like
It's so funny.
It's honestly comedy.
No,
gold.
you can laugh. You will laugh your ass off, and you'll forget you're watching a horror movie.
Yeah, I really thought I was just watching like satirical
No,
work.
for sure. I mean,
because it is.
I'm not gonna I won't lie. Like when me and James watched this for the first time, like we took the interviews like super seriously, and we're like, oh my god, when's shit gonna hit the fan? But like we were laughing for like the first half hour of the movie. Just because they had to bribe one of the caretakers because they went up to him and said, have you ever experienced any paranormal activity? And the guy was like,
No, I just started working
No, I
here."
just started working here like a week ago. And they were like, God damn it, of course he's only been here a week.
Like, do you have anything in petty? What do we have? How does $20 sound?
Yeah, they slipped him a 20 off camera. to
I
get
saw a
him-
ghost. Where? Right there.
Yeah.
He just points at a window.
And he just stares down the camera. It's so
And he
funny.
goes, full-bodied apparition.
full-bodied apparition. Unbelievable. No, it is comedy. It is comedy for the first. It
It's
prepares
gold.
you. It prepares you for the bullshit you're going to deal with for the next hour.
No, it doesn't. It lulls you into
it
a
makes
full
you-
sense of
And
security.
it makes you laugh. It gets the giggles out of you first, so you can at
Well,
least
then-
laugh before you're terrified.
But then we get like the best thing ever, and they're like, given the activity, we have to call in our psychic medium, Houston Gray, and then we get this really intense like pan shot, like zoom shot of him getting out of his car, like it's The Exorcist, or
And
something.
there's no, and the canon behind this is like it's literally found footage, and it's like not edited yet. Like it's supposed to be a TV show. But it's implied that there's supposed to be like music or dramatic effect, but since it's all unedited found footage, like it just zooms in on Houston the median,
just silently,
and it's so,
awkward.
funny because he's a weird looking guy, and they zoom in right on him, and like when you think it's gonna cut, it stays on his face. It's so funny.
and he's dressed like he's about to star in The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's weirdly like out of place. His attire is very
He's
much
trying
out
to
of
dress
place.
like he's trying to dress like a medium, like how he thinks a medium would dress.
How he's okay.
In
There
The
you
Matrix?
go. How
Like-
how he thinks a median should dress. That's important to note.
And like it's just funny because then we get the little guided tour of him walking through the building. He's just like, there's a lot of spirits. Their voices are all throughout the hallways. Like, and like you can tell,
It's
like you can just
deafening.
tell that he's faking it.
He's bullshit.
Not even like they don't need to reveal it to you. They do reveal it to you later.
Yep.
But like he's just like, it's deafening how many spirits are in these halls. And they earlier they were getting a tour, and like the tour guide's like, this bathtub right here is where a patient, she slit her wrists in the bathtub and died. And they like work their way towards this bathtub they talked about, and the medium's like, there's a spirit in here. She's very, very sad. I'm getting a lot of sadness, and I'm seeing water, red water, blood in the water. She died in that bathtub. And then Lance just goes, earlier today, we found out from the caretaker.
We found out that a caretaker we found out that a girl killed herself in this bathtub. That is truly amazing, Houston. It is
It
so
implies where the interview ends, and then he goes, was that too much? Like the medium's like, was that too much? Did I act it up a little much? Like, they're like, no, that was great.
it was truly an Oscar worthy performance.
Also, I have to mention that bathtub was bothering me for the first half of that movie because it was like it looked like it still had wet blood in it.
Which doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
that there was still blood in it.
nope.
Is
but
that
you know,
supposed to
nothing
like
in this-
clue us into later?
I mean, realistic. I mean, if we're gonna go this route with this kind of history, I mean, this building would probably be demolished. And a bathtub where a girl killed herself probably wouldn't even be there at that point. But I mean, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, but a lot of these buildings get protected as like historical landmarks a lot of the time.
yeah.
And now the bloody bathtub doesn't make sense for this reason. That's not what blood looks like when it's that old.
yeah, that's
It
what
looked
I was
like
thinking.
really
It looked
fresh.
fresh.
It looked
Like-
like it happened.
looked
a
I've
few
like it
watched
was
enough
still
true
wet.
crime and like stuff like that to know that blood is brown or
After-
like appears like dirt
when
basically.
it ages like that, like
Yeah.
from that far back. I forget what the timeline they said this,
but it looked like it was still wet. Like
Yeah,
it still
that's what
happened
I
like
was
a few months
thinking.
ago. No, it did. It did.
but yeah, so the first like third of this movie is pretty much just parroting the first third of every ghost show you've ever seen. And yeah, it's just incredible. And then we like get to them filming their intro, and the camera just keeps zooming in on them incessantly.
It's
like
so funny.
He's like, it keeps zooming back on his face, like, at this hospital where thousands have suffered. Like, and then just like, and then they all say in unison, "Welcome to Grave Encounters." Like, like
it is a copy. It feels like a copy and paste of Ghost Adventures.
It's incredible.
Lance dresses like it is very much intentional. He dresses like Zach Bagans.
Yeah, he doesn't just sound like him. He looks like him.
He looks like him. I mean, yeah. I mean, he looks like he's got about a pound of hair gel in his hair, all spiked up. Like he fits the description. If you guys watch the movie, like you'll know what we mean.
It's But then we even get down to like they're setting down their X cameras, and they're literally like earlier they were marking the X camera spots.
Right. I mean, to be fair, I feel like that's a paranormal investigator thing in general.
Yeah, but it's like the emphasis that they put like better mark this place for the camera. Like,
and then you just see the expert like, oh my god, are we fucking serious right now? No, but it'll give you a good chuckle.
But the camera work comedy, like the zooming, is clearly on purpose.
The panning out and zooming back.
It's so zooming out,
funny.
panning.
Yes, no, it's great.
Like,
it's great.
And like, but like now the investigation has pretty much started, and they're pretty much not getting anything at first. They're walking around doing the usual shtick of, like, is there anyone here? Play it back. Like, and
just
hoping
back,
they can hear nothing happening.
Like bullshitting their way through it. I think they said this was about their 6th episode of Grave Encounters, quote unquote. This is the 6th episode. And they were like, yep, 6 episodes in, we haven't found anything, implying that they've just been
faking it,
bullshitting the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
And you kind of get a lay of the land of who actually believes and who doesn't.
Yep.
Sasha believes.
She clearly believes. She really wants to find something. I get the read that Lance did believe, but he's starting to be a bit discouraged.
I mean, after that many attempts, I get it.
He's like, I don't know, maybe, hopefully, but I guess we'll just see what happens. Like he clearly is skeptical at this point, but I have the feeling that maybe he wasn't before. And obviously the medium is an actor. So he doesn't believe in shit.
No.
But the other two, TC and Matt, they're just there.
So you don't really get a read on it. You don't get a read on it.
I feel like they don't believe just off of their behavior early on.
Yeah.
So yeah, they set up the X cameras, and then they go to talk to Matt about all his all the particular gadgets.
Oh boy, I love this.
And he's going through, he's got an EMF reader and I don't even remember all the things. Infrared thermometer,
EMF detector,
something else. And then he goes, Geiger counter.
And doesn't explain what it does.
He not only doesn't explain, he tries to explain how it's relevant. He goes, "Yes, it's a Geiger counter. So you turn it on, and he just waves it around. And he goes, yeah."
And then sets it down.
We're not paranormal investigators, but I've never seen anybody use a Geiger counter for something for ghost hunting. I've never seen it.
I don't know that you're looking for radioactive material when you're ghost hunting.
Maybe for safety? I don't know.
Right. No,
for the ectoplasm.
I guess I've never heard anyone using it just caught me here's the thing, when we were kids, it probably went right over our heads.
We're like, oh yeah, Geiger counter.
Oh yeah, sure, man, whatever.
That's a thing.
But now we're in our mid-20s, we're like, what the fuck did he just say? Did he say Geiger counter? Where the fuck are they? Chernobyl? What's it gonna do? I'm gonna have to Google it. I'm gonna look this up to see if there's been any actual use.
Looking up if Geiger counters are used in ghost hunts.
I doubt it. My guess is that it's just in there for the joke. It's gotta just be in there
because they didn't explain it.
Right. The joke is that they literally just gave him tools and he doesn't actually know how to use any of them.
Well, excuse the fuck out of us, ladies and gentlemen. Listen here. Virtually all ghost hunter groups claim to be scientific, and most give that experience because they use high-tech scientific equipment, such as Geiger counters in particular.
What?
in particular.
They what?
I've never watched a show where they used one.
where they use the
I'm
Geiger
gonna have
counter.
to send a tweet out to Zach Bagans and ask him if he's ever used a fucking Geiger counter. Because
Do it.
I wouldn't
call
be shocked
bullshit.
if it's been used and we just don't remember.
We might just be ignorant as fuck right now. We very well could be ignorant as
That
fuck.
article was very passive aggressive, I will say.
But what?
Yeah.
But what would it be doing?
Maybe-
Are ghosts radioactive or some shit?
Maybe, who knows?
Now I'm
Who
looking
knows?
Are
All right.
ghosts radioactive?
I'm gonna keep you guys keep going with the movie. I'm gonna do some research.
Is research tweeting at Zach Bagans?
No, but I'll do that later on my own
So-
time.
So yeah, it's fun because like they keep not getting anything, and we keep getting where the camera like would have cut, and they're just like, man, this is bullshit. Like we're not getting like it's just like this is stupid. Like nothing is gonna ever happen. Blah blah blah. And like you're like, oh guys, keep your spirits up, keep looking. I'm sure you'll find something. And earlier in the film, we were told about this. The caretaker was talking about this window that he always comes back in the morning and it's open. And we see it open. Bum, bum, bum. And there's a cheesy static effect when it opens. That kind of got distracting after a while because it's not a very good static effect.
No.
It very much looks like not static.
Yeah.
But the window opens. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Which it's such a Chekhov's gun because I felt like this might be in the sequel. No one got flung out that window.
Right? I was like waiting for that to happen too.
But it didn't happen. I think it happens in the sequel. And that's why I thought it was going to happen.
I haven't seen this movie, but when people kept going to check out that window, I was like, don't stop standing so close to the window. You're going to get pushed out the freaking window. It's a horror movie. Of course you would get pushed out of the freaking window.
But no one saw the window open. So we're all like, ooh.
That's
they do a really good setup here where they're like, we'll try spirit photography, which is basically taking pictures with an infrared camera. And you just see a bunch of just pictures as he takes them, like flash up on the screen, and there's nothing in them. I have to mention that because they do something really cool with it later.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's because of, I think there's a no. It's because they use the flashbulb sound in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and so my body's initial reaction to the camera was to just go.
It didn't sound like the Texas Chainsaw one though.
Yeah, I guess not.
It sounded more like it sounded kind of more like the camera moving. I feel like you were on the right page. It kind of sounded more like the camera when it moves in Five Nights at Freddy's. That sound effect.
Maybe I feel like there's a game that you play and you like take pictures.
There is a
something,
game. I forget what the game is called.
And you like see the camera light up and then it goes out.
I think that's in one of the SCP games.
Maybe that's it. I don't know, but it gave me like a little bit of a chill.
Because the thing is, they do that in ghost hunting shows, and I'm always terrified every time they start doing it because I'm like, what's going to happen? And the most might be some like little mist that's out of place.
So I did find
Cool.
something. So yes, we are just ignorant. They are Geiger counters have been used, not as common as the last article made it out to be, but this is from Pacific Paranormal Investigations, so I don't get hit with plagiarism somehow, some way. Let's see, where the heck was it? Through observation, experimentation, and research, we have determined a standard background radiation level, BRL, for Southern California residential settings. We have documented normal pulses in the BRL and compared the baseline readings to anomalous fluctuations that might coincide with possible paranormal phenomena.
So basically a correlation thing. It could be important.
Yes.
But it's not like something that they'd walk around with and try to find ghosts with. It's more of like, let me check this place out.
Maybe.
Yeah, let me check this place out prior to and see if the radiation level is high.
It won't be it wouldn't be a go-to. It's just something to rule out, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you want to use it. So that's not the first article I've seen on it.
So this is my question then. Where is the Geiger counter in Phasmophobia?
Coming soon.
We have no idea.
I feel
We
like it'd be a bit redundant. It'd probably do the same exact thing that like EMF does.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a place for it.
I think EMF is just more pop cultural. Like that's
Everyone
Well-
knows what an
Ghost
EMF
hunting.
does.
I
and-
mean, it just is another way you could rule out a ghost, is what I'm thinking.
perhaps.
Like some of the ghosts cause radiation.
well, I think they have
fluctuations.
every type of ghost in this building from Phasmophobia.
Oh my! Yeah, this place is
Yeah.
like off the fucking wall crazy.
But not yet because we haven't gotten there.
No, it does get crazy.
First we get TC's amazing commentary as he walks through the building because he's
Oh.
just like walking around like.
Yeah, he's just bored.
He's bored out of his mind. I didn't write down any of his quotes, but there were some fun
cook my
ones.
dinner, bitch. He walks into he sees a checker flooring, and he says like fucking king me or something like that.
He's like the checkers of death.
The checkers of death, king me. He walks into an old kitchen and he just yells, "Cook my dinner, bitch!"
kitchen of death.
And then and I don't know what else he said, but I know he had a heartfelt conversation with his daughter and wife over the cell phone.
It was cute.
It was.
And then a wheelchair behind him moves, but he doesn't see it.
He doesn't. He puts the camera
I
down.
also missed it, to be
Yes.
fair.
He puts the camera down to talk to his wife and daughter on his cell phone. He's walking around, and behind him there's a wheelchair in this empty hallway. And while he's distracted talking to his little girl, this wheelchair starts moving. And I believe this is the first like hint at that there's actually something paranormal going on in the building.
Stay close, stranger. The room awaits you after these messages.
Quick
The
side
window
tangent.
opens first, but
Does it?
Quick side tangent,
Yeah.
impossible downer. But like, I think this might have been the actor's own personal character work he was trying to weave in. I think there's a lot of implied domestic issues though.
Really?
Because one, he's a hothead and he screams at people like he's the most aggressive.
Ooh.
And then
That's
there's
true.
all that shit on the floor later, and he says,
Like, this
"This
one-
looks like a living
Oh,
room after a fight with my
yeah.
wife."
Yeah.
So I feel like that was just the actor trying to put some like character building, like kind of like making himself
Give,
like
give him a little bit of lore.
this guy straight
Yeah.
out of acting school is like, I've got to build this character.
yeah, exactly. So not important to the movie at all, but I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, it could be to like make you think about his character a little bit. But I mean, I didn't really pay attention to any of that. I just paid attention to the phone call with his girlfriend and his daughter. And that just made me like, I'm like, oh no, I hope he doesn't get off, because it really made me feel bad. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'll be home tomorrow. He was talking to his daughter. He's like, I'll be home tomorrow morning. I promise.
Tell your mommy that I told her that you have permission to sleep in bed with her tonight, since daddy won't be there to scare
I'm
the
like,
monsters
no.
away.
Yeah, like I'm not saying he's a scumbag.
No,
I'm
for
saying
sure.
like
No.
I'm wondering if he was like the actor was just trying to like weave in some layers
So-
to his character.
So what we're saying is, we see you, Merwin.
Look at you go. I hope. What is he doing? Anything? What's he doing?
Let's see.
Let's shout him
his
out.
headshot's great. His headshot's great.
What's Merwin doing?
After his straight to Netflix
last
movie.
thing he did was Code 8 in 2019, so he's still doing work.
That was 5 years ago.
I mean, yeah, but still, like, that's
Keep
more
it up.
recent than this.
Keep it up, Merwin.
What?
Okay,
What?
so as of hold on. So as of right now, there's Grave Encounters 1 and Grave Encounters 2. There's never been a Grave Encounters 3. But
Oh,
Oh!
is it on the horizon?
there's I'm on this website.
Rose
that
on Fandom Wiki.
yes. And
That's
he has 3 films. It doesn't have the one you brought up though. So I mean, take this with a grain of salt. There's Grave Encounters 1, 2, and then it says 3. There has never, to my knowledge, there is not a third one out. I've checked, so, but maybe I'm just going to assume it got scrapped. I think that's probably the safe bet.
It probably did. It probably was because Grave Encounters 2 came out a year after the first one.
Yep, 2012.
Yep.
Right.
Great year.
He's
Should've
in an
ended.
We thought
episode
it was
of
going to be the
Battlestar
end of the year,
Galactica.
end of the world, but you know,
Nope.
it ended up being just the metaphysical end of the world. 'Cause
Correct.
Nothing's been the same since.
He was in an episode of Battlestar Galactica. This is in like 2006. I'm trying to see.
Oh wow, that was even before.
Yeah.
I think he might have retired.
Encounters,
I don't blame him. I mean, I'm sure he got a decent
Rookie
payday.
Blue. He's most known for Godsend, Grave Encounters, and Code 8. Oh, and he was in The Recruit in 2003.
But the thing is he is the guy who actually sees something and notices it first.
Yep.
Good job, dude.
Because a door slams behind him and he freaks the hell out. And see, it's like this. The thing that's wild is this: he gets everyone else upstairs, and like they're all like, "Are you?" So was there like a draft? Like what happened? Did you see it? And he's like trying to tell him, "I have it on camera. I have it on camera."
They won't let him talk.
I have it on camera, and they're like, "So try and replicate." He's like, "I got it on film." They're like, "You got it on film?"
And he's like, he looked at
bro was flabbergasted.
I think he looked at Sasha and he was like, "This is what I've been trying to fucking tell you." He's like, I have it on film. Then they play the footage back. What doesn't make sense to me is if they played the footage back, shouldn't he have the wheelchair, or was he just
they just didn't go and look at the wheelchair,
or maybe he just wasn't filming. He was using it as like night vision. Maybe he just wasn't filming that.
No, but it's found footage, so he had to be
he was filming.
Oh my god, you're right.
They just skipped over it to where he was in the room.
So they missed the wheelchair. Missed the wheelchair.
So they just they didn't think to even go back and look at it. But it brain hurt. Forgot what I was going to say.
They all run
Someone
upstairs.
save me.
Like they all go up there and they like they're all like, "Oh my god, we actually might have something." And then Lance he's like, "Hey, we're gonna roll on this," and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna try to make contact." And Houston the median is kind of doing his thing. I'm like, "Spirits, I implore you to show yourself." And then Lance starts getting frustrated because nothing is happening. They're like, "Damn, I thought we finally had something."
And then Lance is like, "Shut up, Houston."
He's over it.
He's like, "Just cut the shit." Like
Yeah,
he's like,
"We might actually have something. You can stop milking it. You're not a median. You're just some random actor that we're bringing along. You don't got to do all this." So yeah, they're basically just they basically think they have something now, and they're dead set on cutting the bullshit.
But then as they're like arguing, they hear a loud crash, and they run into the hallway, and that's when they find the gurney that's flipped over and the wheels are spinning.
Yep.
So they're really getting into it now. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Well, they thought someone might be fucking.
But
with them.
they thought that's right.
Mm.
That's the beginning of what I called them trying to cope.
Yeah,
because they're like,
they're in denial.
Someone's in the building. They're messing with us. Like,
yep, they start moving up the top floor and all that, checking all the rooms.
Houston more than anybody else, because he's just going, we have the right to be here, and
we have permits.
We have permits. We have permits. You don't. Get fucked, loser. Like it would do anything.
If it was a crackhead, that was gonna really convince him to leave.
Exactly. It really showed like who's a skeptic, and like TC at this point probably isn't a skeptic. He's scared shitless, but probably not a skeptic. Houston immediately like reverts to like, "Oh, there's an intruder in here," and that shows like, okay, so it's kind of ironic. The supposed median is probably the biggest skeptic in the entire group.
I think he's also just the most terrified. Is part of
he's
it.
Kind of a pussy.
He's throughout the entire movie.
No, here's the thing. He's not like dislikable. He's just
no. He is at this point.
No,
at this point, I did not like him.
He was a little annoying, but I thought he was funny. I thought he was.
I kind of felt bad for him at a point because he's clearly the most realistically terrified.
for sure.
And he's catching the most strays, mostly from TC.
He tries to say anything. TC, shut the fuck up, Houston. Like every five. I think he's comedy relief. That's how I look at him.
But and then it's cool how it comes in waves early because then it starts to calm down and they start to be like, well, something's going on, and Sasha is like the one who's like, guys, this is like this could be real. Okay, there's no one here. And right as she says that, her hair gets like lifted up from her scalp and like pulled, and she's like starts freaking the hell out and tries to run away, and they have to calm her down. And here is when we get like my favorite like bit of like the most like intimidating bit of the movie. They get Sasha downstairs and Lance and TC and Houston. Houston's like, "No, I'll stay down there with her." They're like, "No, you come back."
He was like, "No, we need." Lance basically said, "No, we need more faces on camera, or people aren't going to believe it. So you need to come with us." So Lance walked her down and came back up.
And it's funny because like it starts the shot like we are upstairs and I'm here with Houston. Like it pans out and Houston's sitting there like looking.
Yeah, but he looks shell shocked.
So terrified.
He looks shell shocked. He's got like 1,000 yards stare. He's looking at the end of the hallway, and he's not paying attention. And Lance kind of eventually just kind of smacks him in the shoulder, like, "Come on, it's fucking go time. Let's go."
But you know, they're going around and they're discussing, and basically they're like, come to the conclusion. Okay, well, we got enough. Okay, we got enough stuff.
That's what any sane person would do at that point.
Yeah.
And then, but Lance, this is my favorite bit of the movie. Lance is like, okay, well, real quick, let me just take a couple pictures. You know, and he starts doing it, and you know, he
Still
can't see what he's taking pictures of.
Right.
Because he's
But
got to wait for the
He
film
takes
to
one
develop.
picture. It's a hallway just loaded with orbs.
Yeah.
And then he takes another, and it's like this ghastly figure, and then takes another, and then there's this like other ghastly figure in the window, and you're like, oh my God, they're completely surrounded right now,
Yep,
and
they're
they have
being
no
watched.
idea.
You're like, oh, they're fucked.
Yep, basically.
And like that little quick setup and payoff with the camera picture, like the still photos. Like I love that stuff.
I mean, which one of you guys were saying there was a movie that did it before?
We were talking about a game.
Oh, okay.
We were
I know a movie that does it.
what that? Well,
Insidious. Insidious does it.
Insidious does do that.
I thought you guys were talking about Insidious.
I think this came out first.
Insidious?
No, this didn't Insidious come out in like 2013
Insidious
or something like
did that?
Insidious did it. Yeah, did a still photo bit.
Remember, it's following.
They did a still photo bit.
Yeah.
I will take that. Yeah, I was gonna say I will die on that hill. They did.
That's
What? I need to make sure
right.
that's correct. What year
Sorry,
did
the-
Insidious come out?
The only thing I remember from Insidious is the face jump scare that was in the
Darth
trailer
Maul.
for it. Yeah. And
April 2011, same year.
Same year.
oh,
When did it? So April 1st, 2011.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't
Grave
even saying
Encounters
that either of them
release
copied
date.
the other.
No, they
No, for
definitely
sure.
I think it's just
they're
because that's
very different.
very different versions of
Yeah.
this.
September 9th, 2011 was Grave Encounters. So Insidious was first.
Gotcha. Well, honestly,
by a short margin.
like I was saying though, like whenever even in ghost shows, whenever they start doing the still photos, it's edited the same exact way that ghost shows do it. I still remember being a kid watching like Ghost Adventures, just thinking there was gonna be a scary face one of these times, and like
Here's the thing. I watched an episode. There was like, it wasn't like in your face, but Zach took a picture of a mirror and then took one after. It was very, very compelling.
I don't remember which episode this is, and I kind of want to watch Ghost Adventures now. That's what happens every time I
Now,
watch this movie. Is I want to watch.
I have
Ghost
Discovery
Adventures.
Plus.
You're
I
gonna
can-
have to just pull up that episode and that bit because I want to see that.
It's on Max now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Cool.
I canceled my Discovery Plus because it's on Max now. That was the only reason I had Discovery
Oh,
Plus.
that would probably explain why there hasn't been a new episode on Discovery.
There's a bunch of specials on Max.
I'm gonna have to get that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are
sidetrack.
Ghost Adventures / Zach Bagans products shills here. Okay?
Correct.
I won't hear
Yes.
any slander about him being a con man or faking or anything.
I don't get me wrong.
He
I
has to make money. I'm sure he's faked stuff.
Oh yeah, but I don't think.
I think he genuinely believes, though. I get that impression.
No, for sure. I mean, I don't. For me, it's hard to believe that everything he's done is fake, though, and been going on for this long.
James and I watched a video from Sam and Colby of them just in his.
Oh, Sam and Colby, the the haunted museum.
Which we want to go to.
No, I don't.
She doesn't, but me and you.
I'll go.
We're going to Vegas at some point in life.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah.
So we were watching it, and
Vegas
they
is
go
cheap.
to sit in the devil's chair, and I couldn't watch anymore. It made me feel physically sick.
Yeah, it's nerve wracking.
I
Sam and Colby's
believe-
great. Highly recommend Sam and Colby.
I definitely believe Zach Bagans is fully real because the stuff that I saw from his museum this is over video, and it's making me feel physically sick.
I want to go there.
Yep.
I won't sit in the chair. I won't sit in the chair.
No one can sit in the chair. They only got to sit in the chair because they're special. You're not going anywhere near that chair.
You're not special. You're not going in the fucking chair.
It's not even that you're not special. You are not allowed anywhere near that chair.
I wasn't going to.
The chair
What
freaks me out
sparked
a lot,
this?
guys.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Zach Bagans basically took two still photos of a mirror, and there was a very, very clear, deformed looking face in this mirror. And then there was another photo that he took right after, and they developed both of them, and it was gone. It was very, very, very compelling. And yes, and the scene in that movie, it is one of the best bits in the Grave Encounters film, because it kind of shows you like, oh shit, it's about like that's when like okay, yeah, it's about to hit the fan. It's not an intruder, it's something paranormal going on.
But you know, they're all just kind of hanging out downstairs, and Matt's like they're getting Matt caught up because he's in the nerve center essentially the whole time.
We forgot to mention there was a random shot of him getting like perturbed for a second, and he takes out the Geiger counter and just starts going
scanning around like he knows what
I
he's
guess
doing.
if that was gonna do anything.
There's no radiation here.
But they're getting him all caught up, and they're like, all right, we'll just pack up and wait, you know, until Kenny gets here at 6 a.m. And you're kind of notice like you see the time, and it's like getting really close to 6 a.m.
Yeah. It was like 4:30 or something.
They're like, okay, Matt, go up by yourself and he's the Aaron Goodwin of this group. He literally is. He's the tech guy.
Go in there by yourself.
go and get the shit.
And this makes my list. It's the first item, actually, surprisingly, on my list, which is no, don't send somebody off by themselves. That's never a good idea.
Especially given all the things you've just witnessed.
Right.
And so this is pretty much the beginning of the saga of people yelling for Matt, because if you hate the name Matt, this is not the movie for you. You're going to hear it a lot.
I hate to break it to you, but the Vampire Diaries definitely breaks this that's a TV record. Show. Yes. No, I mean in one episode breaks this record of yelling Matt. They yell Matt all the good. Matt is the one human character of this show, so they always are looking for Matt.
They're always looking for Matt. But we're talking about Grave Encounters.
Everyone's looking for Matt.
That's not a horror show.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Where was I?
We were talking about looking for Matt.
The time going crazy. They send Matt off on his own.
And he's picking up the X cameras, and he notices the windows open, and he just kind of wanders off. He's like trying to radio in, but we've established the radios don't work at this point. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, and I think this is the first. I think the radio's not working is the first sign that something has gotten fucked. Something
the space-time continuum, which is actually an accurate statement. More to come.
Stay tuned.
They're not in this plane anymore.
Oh, okay. That's what. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say they're stuck in a time loop or something. And I was like, there is no evidence to them being stuck in a time loop.
No, it's not a time loop.
It's definitely not.
But, yeah. So they start wondering what happened to Matt. So they do go looking for him. And all they find is his shit everywhere.
Cameras, vest, a bunch of gear. And they assume something terrible just happens because they're like, oh, he's the tech whiz. He wouldn't just leave all of his shit laying around. And it's like scattered, like it was taken off of him with force.
Mm-hmm.
And it is basically they're starting to realize that this is not a good situation to be in.
No.
They keep hearing stuff. They keep seeing stuff. They're capturing EVPs.
And then they say the last thing you ever want to hear in a horror movie. Let's split up.
Let's split up, which, let's not.
Also made my list.
And you know what splitting up caused? It caused TC to get pushed down the stairs.
Yeah.
And he's in a full Family Guy death pose. Like, he's alive, but he's just like crumpled on the floor.
He was trying to go to a top floor to check for Matt, and
because he thought he heard something.
Yeah, he heard one of the noise. There's like loud noises, rumblings, and groans going on all around the hospital at this point.
Do you want to know my theory on that?
I know what you're gonna say.
I think that's the hospital shifting around,
moving around.
It's the hallways and stuff all moving.
Yeah, there's like it sounds like the building is literally moving. There's groans, like there's yell, like there's a bunch of like so much to read into in the ambience of the movie.
And so once they do like get him on his feet, they do decide, okay, let's just focus on like getting out of here for now, and we can try and find Matt later. And TC's kind of losing his shit, and he's like, he brings out a gurney. He's like, I'm gonna bust the door down. And they're like, no, Kenny will be here soon. And it's like he's already an hour late. Like, and this is where we get that reveal, because they do bash the front door open. And there's just more hallways.
It's just more hallway.
We are in the original back rooms.
Yes, that's what Ashton was getting at with hearing the hospital moving around. It's because no matter where they go, they can't find the way out. They assume that they just kind of got turned around. But at the start of the movie, on the front door, there was spray paint that said "Death awaits" on the front door. Again, they were like, "Oh, we might have just gotten turned around." And Sasha points out and like closes the doors that they just bashed open. It's the same front doors that says "Death awaits," and they're just in more hospital.
Yep.
And Houston is holding the chain that they pointed out. This like it's a pretty old rusty chain. Like it's the same chain.
Yeah. Houston's trying to be like. He's in denial.
Yeah, he's like, let's be rational, guys. we might have just gotten turned around, and then Preston has the realization. He's like, guys, wait, it's 8:30. I looked at the sun time. I looked at when it's supposed to rise.
It should be bright outside now.
Yes, it was pitch black nighttime, and the sun was supposed to rise probably about an hour ago or so, and it didn't.
So essentially, putting on the theory hat, they are not in our plane of existence anymore. They're in the spirit realm, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I think with the hallways and stuff changing though, I feel like it's like a whole different like they're no long. It's not just like a different plane, because a plane can exist on top of the world.
I was using those
in.
synonymously.
Okay, I'm thinking reality. It's a separate reality. It's a different universe, basically.
But the reason I call it like the ghost realm, like, is because I think this kind of goes to, the theory of like, oh, why are ghosts trapped in a building? Why can't they leave? Why can't they go anywhere else? Is maybe this is how it is. It's basically an endless world of just this building.
Or this building's a portal.
That too. I mean, you could say that's that's actually more accurate than you realize, because I'm pretty sure that's something in the second movie is related to a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The second movie takes it a little too far with the whole.
The second movie had the scariest looking like title card thing going on. I was afraid.
Oh, did you see the guy?
The guy, was sitting in the
I'm not sure if we'll ever get to the second movie. We might not. I don't know.
I'm not ready for the second movie.
The second movie is not as good.
No,
it takes this concept a little too far for my liking.
Because
in the second movie they literally get out, go to their hotel, get in the elevator of the hotel, then the elevator opens and they're back in the hospital.
That's fantastic.
No, it is cool.
It's
an
actually a great
shit movement.
That is
moment.
So MCU.
No, I think you guys should watch it. I really do. At some point.
All right. Well, I got to recover from this one first, and then maybe.
But you know us, we don't cover sequels right away. That's just how it works here. We like to have fun here. Thought that was the wrong button again. That button's long.
Oh
God. So the panic is starting to set in.
Mm-hmm.
I have a big gap in my notes here, so I'm going to need some help keeping chronological events.
So they basically go try to find the front door. They find the front door, but yeah, it's more hallways. That's when they start going up.
They start looking for exits. They find another exit.
Yeah.
And then it's more hallways. So they start going up.
And then Houston just goes, well, maybe it says emergency exit because this is the way to the emergency exit.
He's trying so hard.
And as they're talking about the sun and stuff, he's like, well, maybe the electromagnets like messed with our clocks, and it's only been like 2 hours.
Time can pass weird when you don't have a reference. Like, and they're like, "Shut up,
everyone's
TC."
just no.
TC is
shut
like,
up, Houston.
Shut up, Houston. Like,
oh God!
But
meanwhile, they are still going, Matt. Matt.
Yeah, if they're at this point, like if they're not bitching at each other, they're just wandering aimlessly, just yelling, Matt.
And so they find stairs and they go all the way up them. And TC gets really fucking excited because he sees like a roof exit sign.
Yes, they're trying to just get to the roof at this point so they can at least be out of the building.
And he goes up the last set of stairs and it's a concrete wall.
Surprise, we're in the Winchester house.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've seen this before, and that you know what this place reminds me of though? I think that's a Winchester house reference, but it's a reformatory. Hold on. Not a reformatory, a sanatorium. The name of that sanatorium is the Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Oh, there's a Ghost Adventures episode about that.
Yeah, there's also a Sam and Colby one. That I think that's where the inspiration for this hospital was. because it's the basement that reminds me so much of Waverly Hills, because that's where the ball rolls and stuff a lot, where the kids like to
Move the ball.
Yeah. Except this was a sanatorium instead of a psychiatric ward.
Well, it's kind of like you threw Waverly Hills, Trans-Allegheny, and Pennhurst like all together.
Yeah.
It's definitely taking inspiration from all the famous haunted sanatoriums and psychiatric hospitals and stuff. But man, shit's getting real. So the whole rest of the movie is kind of a breakneck running through the halls and shit just keeps happening.
Yeah.
I think after this is when they're in that hallway and you see the girl run behind them.
Oh, yeah. I don't think.
Oh, that's so freaky.
I might have skipped a bit, but like I said, there's a lot that just it's
yeah.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom,
it's
boom,
one
boom.
thing after another.
And really between then and there, it's really just them wandering and bickering with each other.
Mm.
So, but you see this, the way the girl runs behind them, she looks like the old lady in the background of It, chapter 2, going,
Ew.
I'm doing the little
she's doing the
movement
thing.
she do, like with the arms and everything.
But they think it's Matt. So they're like,
Somehow.
was that Matt? Matt. Like,
it's not Matt.
but no, they just find this lady Blair Witching in the corner, you know?
She do be looking like a ghost in Phasmophobia that hasn't like fully like loaded. Like the AI hasn't calculated where people are when it goes to start hunting, and it's just standing in the corner.
I'm starting to think the problem here is they thought they were filming a Ghost Adventures episode, but really they were playing Phasmophobia on nightmare difficulty.
I think that is the issue.
Where the ghost is always hunting because they can't get out. But this lived rent free in 12-year-old Shane and James's heads forever, and that was they start kind of approaching the girl, and she turns around and her face just like contorts in like a Snapchat filter kind of way. But man, it's still pretty spooky, I have to say.
Yeah.
But they just run shaky cam and they get themselves into a closet, except they forgot they lost Houston in the hallways.
And I'm freaked out because they're like, turn off the camera, turn off the light. And I hear a that is not coming from either of them. And I was like, turn the light back on. There's someone in there. Turn the light back on. There's someone in there.
Well, I think it might have been Sasha.
I don't think so, because she's talking when it happened.
Well, it wasn't Sasha.
Yeah, it wasn't anybody. I think it was just like creepy noises, and I took it as someone else.
So we're sitting
in the
here like
closet.
waiting for them to turn the camera on, like, oh god, because I hadn't seen this movie in a while, so I forget a lot of it.
I'm just going, turn the camera on,
then
turn the camera on, turn the camera on, turn the camera on.
But then, yeah, they realize they lost Houston, and then we just have to watch this poor man wander through the hallways with no flashlight.
Yeah.
Just like, hello, Lance. Like, you see like doors are opening and stuff, and he's like, just basically, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
And then he starts getting choked and lifted up like the ghost of Darth Vader's in the room.
Yeah.
And they drop him, and then they suck his soul out through his anus.
That's the conclusion James came to.
Because there's a bright flash. He gets thrown across the hallway, and then he lands on the ground dead.
And I'm not kidding. A middle schooler would probably survive the distance that he was thrown.
Mm-hmm.
So James came to the determination that he got his soul sucked out of his ass.
Because he was crawling on all fours, and the flash of light came from right behind his butt. Okay,
Oh, God.
It's just an opposite Dementor attack, okay?
that or he got like spectral kicked by a ghost right in the nuts so hard that he died.
So he was the first official death of the movie.
Okay,
Yep.
so if you got kicked in the nuts so hard that you flew that far, do you think it'd kill you?
I don't know. I didn't imagine he got kicked. I imagine he just kind of got.
I thought he got yeeted.
Yeah, I thought I imagine like they always just grabbed like his clothes or something and just went like that.
Well,
Or
we'd
just
have to
full on
catch
got-
the replay.
Or
But-
just got force pushed. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna go
But
with
you know-
soul yanked out from behind.
You know, but my experience with getting kicked in the balls.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It totally would feel like, totally would kill me if I got kicked that hard.
So yeah, then they wake up in the closet and they have hospital wristbands with their names on them,
Like
Oh
their
yeah, it's
patients.
freaky.
like their patients.
We
are we
missed-
missing the
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
We
I
missed.
forgot.
They were taking turns sleeping, and Sasha. The camera turns back on, and we find out that Sasha has had. What did it say? Hello. Hello. Just
All up her
clawed,
back.
clawed into her back?
yeah.
Stay close, stranger. The room awaits you after these messages.
Like not just a little hello, like it's her whole back just says hello.
Hold back.
One word hello, not a bunch of hellos. Just one big hello.
One big hello. I thought maybe it said hell because the O is a little bit.
That would have been too cheesy.
A bunch of smaller hellos would probably be a lot creepier. Like if her whole back was just hello, 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 like
Ugh.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a little bit more scary.
Imagine waking up like that.
Yeah, that's why
No.
she was. I just want to note, like she is a great actor.
Oh yeah, she did a great job.
She is a great actor.
She's essentially crying and panicking the entire movie.
Yeah,
She's doing a great job because
and
I
she
believe
sells
it.
it. She
she
definitely
does.
sells it.
She's a great actor.
But then what happens after that?
I'm trying to.
That's
think.
why it's hard to keep track of this
So,
movie. I should have just been writing
when
down
they-
jot
no.
for jot each like scare in each moment, but I did not do that.
So they do finally. They hear. Oh, he hears Matt on the walkie-talkie.
Yes.
So they
Yes.
leave the closet that they're in, and I don't remember exactly.
They don't find Matt yet. They get the wristbands before they find Matt.
Yeah, I'm talking about that.
Okay. Though, because they end up in another closet sleeping. They end up like somewhere else.
No, they slept in that closet.
Yeah.
That's where they woke up with the wristbands. Oh, you're
The
talking
hello
about you
happened
went,
first,
you
and then
went
they-
back to the hello and didn't
Yeah.
skip back up.
Yeah.
After the hello is when the rest of the stuff started.
Got it. Okay. Whoopsie.
You're good.
Wristbands.
Wait. No, it's not. We're still missing something because
Semantics.
TC isn't with them anymore when they get to the closet, and he's still with them when the hello thing happened.
No, TC got a wristband.
I thought he didn't.
No, he did.
He did.
Oh, then
Yeah, that didn't
I'm-
happen yet. That didn't happen quite yet.
TC doesn't.
I'm
TC
dumb.
doesn't vacate the world that way.
I-
Yet.
I-
Spoiler alert:
I
he
don't-
vacates the world.
This you can already get the vibe that this is the kind of movie.
They're getting.
It's a
picked off
found
one-
footage movie. That only means one thing usually.
Yes.
But this is a hard movie to keep track of. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. There's just so much. There's so
I
much
think we just-
happening, but in between is so much of the same. Just
walking through
wandering
hallways and bickering, pretty much.
We're getting lost in this hospital as much as they are.
I will just say we'll skip to they find Matt.
Yes.
They find Matt.
They wander out and they hear they do they hear him or do they just find him just sitting in a
They hear him like talking to himself, pretty
mumbling.
much.
He's
Yeah.
basically mumbling,
And
in
they
a dark
find
room.
him just sitting in a dark room. And he's got a whole like gown on, and he's like basically completely lost his marbles. And
When will you learn?
oh no, I'm getting all turned around.
Yeah, me too.
But okay, just start. So
This is where the lady in the corner happened.
no, it's
No?
not. No,
No,
What was the
that
next
was
scare
before.
after this that led
they
them
were
to
trying.
the?
They were trying to find their way out, and they were getting yes. Yep, you know. There you go. I'll let you
Yep.
take it from there.
They went to they end up in a lot of closets.
Yeah.
they basically don't sleep in any of the hallways. Just after some major event, they just hunker down in a closet for the night.
Yeah.
So they hunkered down with Matt in a closet this time.
Yep.
and then they wake up to a bunch of hands coming through the wall.
right.
Yeah, there's
to
a
grab
fuck ton
them.
of hands trying, and Matt just looks right at home. I wanted you to go back because Sasha, TC, and Lance are all like, holy shit, and Matt's just kind of looking up the sky like it's about to rain. Like, yeah, this is there is a chance of hands today.
But they do just kind of drag him out of there, like, and they end up in the bathtub room.
Where Houston,
Oh,
the
that's
media,
right.
foretold that a lady killed herself in it, and
Yes, totally didn't know this knowledge. He totally did not know beforehand that this was what happened in the room.
and
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
It got booted out of his angels.
Yeah, according to James, but then they hunker down after the hands. They wait for a little bit, think it's clear. They start moving out. And they turn around because Matt isn't following them, and that the bathtub is full of blood, and Matt is looking directly into it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, TC, of course they send TC.
Yeah, TC, you go get him.
You go get him. You go fucking get him. And there was an awkward pause. We're like, what's he do? They were like, what's he do? It was so stupid. Like,
Yeah.
TC, what's he doing? He's like, I don't fucking know. And then pause for like 2 seconds. And then the girl that killed herself jumps out of the blood
And grabs him and pulls him in.
And Sasha's hysterical. Matt's kind of just laughing. And Lance is like, Sasha, help me tip the tub to get him out. They tip the tub. TC is no longer with us.
He's gone.
He's been banished to the Shadow Realm.
Ooh.
Thank
So
you,
their new
James.
plan is to get to the tunnels.
Yeah.
So they figure we'll get to the tunnels and they'll take us to another building. Remember? I don't know why. I guess it's just trying to keep hope alive. I don't know why he thinks anything will be different.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try. What do? You want to sit there and let the Snapchat filter girl come after you?
Matt seems happy.
Mm.
That can be debated here in a couple minutes. But
Oof.
damn.
I thought that was funny.
They find an elevator shaft. And they're trying to pry it open.
And so Lance goes looking for like a piece of metal or something to pry open the elevator door. And he ends up back where they had heard this big noise and something had been pushed over. He goes up to it was a gurney. He goes up to the gurney and pulls off a pipe from it, and then is starting to walk out when he sees a tongue on the ground.
And then blah blah jump scare.
Yeah, there's like 2 dots of blood, and I'm like, I saw the tongue on the ground. I went, oh shit, there's someone up there.
Yep.
And then 2 dots of blood, and I went, dude, don't even look up, just leave. He looks up, and there's this scary ass man with no eyes and no mouth, just going. Ah!
It was his tongue.
It was. Yeah. And Lance had to look up. I mean, any normal person would see that and be like, okay, I'm fucking out of here. But he had to get the footage. People are going to want to see this, is what he keeps saying.
He says that so much.
He says people are going to want to see this.
Like, why the fuck are you even still filming? We have to document
He
this.
starts loosening up a little bit towards the end, but I mean, I wonder why.
My thought process here is, I think when he starts saying people are going to want to see this, instead of like, this is good footage for the show, when he stops thinking about it for the show is when he does not think he's going to make it out of there anymore. So he knows what he's doing is he's leaving evidence of himself there.
That, but also you could also say that maybe that's his motivation. Like he's thinking like, oh, I'm filming this, means people are going to see it, means I'm going to get out.
Oh yeah, that
you know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's still holding on to that. Like we're going to get out of here. People need to see what happened. You know, like, but it's funny, like, cause he gets back to the elevator and for unknown reasons,
he was trying to close the door.
Yeah. Well, so that's what it was. Cause we were confused.
That's why he drops everything and runs that way. He was trying to get to the door and close it before the big monster guy came in.
Yeah. Then we get treated to another great jump scare. Like, because he turns the infrared on and then there's the ghost again, just like
right in his face. And then Sasha runs over to help him, barricade the door. And you can see through the door, this thing is just going absolutely ballistic.
He's going banana mode.
Yeah, just flailing his arms, trying to bang the door down. Lance and Sasha are just in too much of a panic to know what Matt is doing. Matt picks up the camera I forget what he said.
I think he just giggled.
No, he just giggles. He just looks at the camera like all wide-eyed and crazy.
Yeah,
looking.
he looks. Yeah,
And he puts it down nicely.
Great
No,
job
he doesn't
by
put it
this
down. There's
actor. He
another
doesn't-
camera that's filming him.
yes.
Yeah.
He says bye-bye, and he walks into the elevator shaft, and that
He
is
doesn't even walk. He just like stands up. He just like stands on the edge and just goes.
he just kind of flops off
Yeah.
off into the elevator shaft, and that is the last we see of Matt. Important thing to note, could be overthinking it, but as soon as he died, the creature disappeared.
Yes.
The demon disappeared.
Because they were just like, he's gone. And I'm like, that's a weird way to react to Matt missing. And I was like, oh, they're talking about the ghost.
Yeah. So as soon as there might be that might be something worth noting is like once someone passes away or is taken, everything kind of calms down for a little bit.
Yeah. And then they noticed that he jumped. Well, they say he jumped, but he more like
Yes.
tipped.
Yep. Yep.
I got the sense from the way they reacted that they're kind of like almost relieved.
Because because
He was definitely
slowing them down.
slowing them down.
He's like, I mean, he's the reason. As shitty as it sounds, he's the reason TC died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
Sucks to say, but like, I guess I more say Lance sounds more like that. Sasha is definitely devastated.
Sasha is
Mhm.
devastated for sure. And we didn't really mention it when they found him. He's in hospital gown, and he's been saying the whole time like, we can leave once we're fixed.
Once we get better, that's what he said.
That's
So
what he
we did
said.
mention like the hospital gown, but we didn't mention that.
That's true.
He was saying
We just said he was mumbling crazy.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
he's basically acting
setting
like
up
he's part of the psychiatric
that there's
ward.
something that they and that explains why they suddenly have these wristbands. They are now patients essentially.
Yeah.
And they are going insane.
Yeah.
But
for
they
sure.
do they do go down the little ladder and they're in the tunnels, and we essentially just learn that they keep walking down the tunnel for miles and miles and miles, and nothing's happening.
And Sasha starts saying like she had started saying a little bit ago, I don't remember exactly when, but she said that she wasn't really feeling very good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She starts puking blood.
Yeah.
She started saying she didn't feel good right before the hands came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, she starts puking blood. And Lance, I think the subtitles were wrong because he straight up just says while she's sleeping, like on his shoulder,
Sasha's not gonna.
she's not going to make it. The subtitle says something like Sasha's got to make it, but I'm like,
No,
that's
he
not what he
said.
said.
He said she's not gonna
He
make
said
it.
she's
The
not gonna make
the
it.
subtitles weren't spot on.
And because Sasha's been suffering probably the hardest throughout the movie, she does get probably the most merciful death, and that's just we see them sleeping on a static night vision camera, which I don't know how that camera was there.
No, he set that one up.
He
He
did
just
set it
never
up when he
got down to pick it up.
Here's the thing. Go ahead. Here, I'll let you go. I'll let you say your piece.
I was going to
first.
say,
have a
I think
theory.
maybe the ghosts are filming them.
That's not. No, I'm more or less talking about Sasha's death.
Oh.
Yeah. So go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Oh, I just had an epiphany.
We might be thinking the same thing. I think. Oh no, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh.
I think so basically the camera was filming them sleeping because they've been walking for miles in pitch black. And then while they're both sleeping, you see this literal mist and fog come in and just cloud the room. And once it goes away, she's gone.
Mhm.
I took it as they didn't kill her. I took it as she died already from whatever was wrong with her. And they just took her body or whatever the fuck.
Like she was a ghost already.
Like she was already dead, and they kind of just took her body away.
That's a fun theory.
Like I think like whatever reason she was throwing up, I don't know. Like she clearly had something wrong with her, like internally. She was puking up blood. I took it as like she lost too much blood, and she like while she died in her sleep.
Mhm.
I didn't look at it as the ghost killed her. I took it as okay, she died in her sleep, and they were like, oh, okay, we're just gonna take her off your hands for you.
Yeah.
I kind of buy that. I have another theory, what I'll bring up later because we're not there yet.
Okay,
But
please continue.
This is essentially where Mr. Lance Preston completely starts to lose his marbles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he already was going a little nuts, but he still was kind of together. But
And it's like the the saddest you feel this entire movie. Like
yeah,
this,
because he's just broken at this point.
I'm just sitting there and like, I don't think I let the whole situation like sit in.
Because this is a
super
nightmare
hard, 'cause-
scenario.
Yeah, because it's just like, you know, it keeps happening and you're just waiting for the next thing to happen. You're waiting for them to find the next thing and you're not really thinking about the situation they're in. And then you get this moment where it's just him losing his goddamn mind. And you're like, he's alone in some unknown world.
Completely endless tunnel.
Completely endless tunnel. There's nothing, there's nowhere for him to go. His lights are going to go out eventually and he's not going to be able to see anything. He hasn't eaten in days.
He has eaten
essentially.
yet.
Like, and I just was like, this is so hopeless.
And then he kills a rat with a pipe and eats it.
And then I was like, ew, don't do that.
Yeah, he smacked a rat with the pipe he used to pry open the elevator shaft. Smacked it. We got a close up of him just completely chowing down on this rat. And when you think
bro's losing his marbles completely,
and when you think it's done, like he puts the camera back to his face and he starts yapping a little bit, and then he pauses and just takes another big chunk out of this rat, like right in front, like right when you think it's done. I'm like, holy shit, that's so nasty.
But like, bro just keeps having these monologues, and every time I'm just like, poor dude. And then he starts just going, well, this was for you watching this. And I'm like, me?
I'm like,
fuck you. Fuck you guys.
I was about to say, Lance, I'm sorry. You didn't have to do this.
I didn't know, Lance.
Blame your Lord and Savior, Zach Bagans. You're literally him. Blame him. This doesn't happen to him.
Also, bro, aren't you the producer? Wasn't this your idea?
Yes, you guys.
This isn't even on TV yet. Like,
I'm pretty sure you were talking about how much you're going to be a millionaire when you started catching some stuff earlier.
But it's so sad, and like I think you understand, like, well, he's like going through the stages, like just like we talked about in Babadook, like going through the stages of grief. He's like grieving the life that he's not going to have because he's
self-grief.
He's in denial, like throughout the first part of this movie, and then now he's moving to anger, and very soon after this, he immediately is depressed. And I don't know about the rest of the stages, but yeah.
But his next monologue is him just saying, like, I woke up and now there's a door here. Like, he's just completely embraced the madness at this point.
Acceptance.
He's just like, yep, there's a door. That's just, fuck it. Let's go in. Let's go into the door. Like, and
Yeah.
here is where we are in what you can only assume is the bad place, where the bad things happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you get an answer to why this place is the way it is. And you see that Dr. Friedkin seemed to like doing some ritualistic sacrifice on the side.
Yeah.
Because you find all kinds of freaky occult shit.
Well, before that, we see pictures of all the people we've been following around this whole time, including Lance, with like pieces of their skull missing, their ribs are out, like
straight up
stitched back together. It's
operations that you're like, well, this doesn't look like something that happens in a psychiatric ward.
right. It's someone like playing around with bodies.
Just seeing what happens.
yeah.
So it's basically you kind of get the answers to what's going on here. Friedkin, as a spirit, is still doing his experiments on the mentally ill by making people mentally ill.
Yeah.
Which is fucking rad, honestly. Like, that's quite a premise.
Oh,
No, I don't mean like what he's doing is cool.
That's fucking rad. Are
No,
you fucking
I'm saying
insane?
I'm saying that idea, the premise is sick.
Oh
like, that's
my
cool.
God.
Lord, obviously,
Lord.
I don't think that's a good thing to do to people.
Panic just went straight through my body. Oh my God.
But yeah, Lance finds all those pictures. He finds some like ritualistic shit. He finds it's almost like a pentagram with a skull. He finds a book that's written. It looks like Dead Sea Scrolls type stuff.
Kind of looked like that Lord of the Rings language. I'm not gonna lie. It was runes, basically.
No, it was something that isn't basically used. Almost looked like a dead language, something that
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't Latin.
no, it was not Latin.
Like I said, it looked like Elvish.
Yeah, no, it did. It
Or
really
like-
did.
Or like common. Or what do they call the language that they use in
Star Wars? Arabesh. I don't know why I
Arabesh.
know that. I just do.
I couldn't
Nerd.
remember. Arabesh. We're speaking common.
We're on a
Arabesh.
Halo podcast.
Actually, we're on a horror movie podcast.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh, we are on a Halo
Yes.
podcast.
You can't call me a nerd.
No, I know. I'm a nerd too. It's okay.
Nerds can call people nerds. It's
They can.
fine.
No, they can. I didn't necessarily mean it like in a derogatory way.
But what was I saying?
We were talking about the language in the book.
There's a language in the book. It's freaky looking.
Yes.
But he turns around and we just see nurses and Dr. Friedkin operating on a table. And this was my theory, is that who he was currently operating on was
Sasha.
Sasha.
Well, you never get a look, I don't think, do you?
You don't. You can't tell.
I
But
assume
he like breaks something and it kind of does a cheesy setup for a oh shit, because he films whatever it is he knocked over and
he
then
kicked a bucket.
yeah he literally kicked the bucket.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That might actually be a thing. He literally kicked a bucket, turned around, jump scare, and presumably
Snapchat filter.
Snapchat filter ghost right in the face. And then we assume he gets like lobotomized.
Yeah,
and
you just hear him
on.
kind of going, "Oh no, I'm not crazy. Please stop!" And then you hear, which is lobotomy sound.
Well, okay. I forgot to mention. Wait, a little bit before all that happened, we've seen him going crazy, and he's looking around this office, and he picks up like a really big needle, like they would use for a lobotomy. And I went, please, God, don't let this man lobotomize himself.
He picked it up for self-defense.
I was
against the ghosts.
Yeah.
afraid that was what I was going to be watching.
Yeah, I wish I could give you like my
What a
first
shame. We didn't get to
impression on
see it.
but
We didn't get to see the lobotomy.
no,
It's not a shame.
he drops the camera and then it focuses on mental illness, medical books and stuff like that, where you're hearing him just scream, I'm not crazy, and then you just hear the dink, the lobotomy noise, and then it cuts.
I like the image though of the biology book and the mental health book and a skull behind it.
Yep. No, it's very well done actually. Good camera work.
But then it just cuts to Lance with blood coming down from his eye.
Yep. He's bleeding.
So yeah, there's your confirmation. He's been lobotomized so much that he's like, I'm all better now.
He
his
is
eyes
more
are
calm.
crossed.
He is a lot more calm.
Well, I mean, see, the thing with lobotomies is they technically work. Technically. Because they make you not able to really think anymore.
Function. Yeah, you're a vegetable.
So like when it's perfect, you will just be an emotionless like robot. You'll
Which
just be
is
like,
what he was
"Hello."
playing off.
Like
And his
think normal SpongeBob.
yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful weather we're having.
I'm normal.
At worst, you just die instantly because someone's poking your brain with an ice pick.
Yeah.
I think he had a pretty. There's blood coming out of his eye, and there's no puncture wounds in the front of his head.
Well, because a lobotomy goes right through your eye.
Which is why he was bleeding.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
why both of his eyes were bleeding,
you
right?
stick the ice pick right on the eye.
Right,
hole,
but that's a
and then you
pretty
go-
significant brain
and then
bleed.
you jumble it around.
Right, but that's a pretty significant brain bleed, so he was probably going to die after this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't see that.
Just M. You want to M key it? He's alive in the second movie.
Yeah, they find
He's
him.
not-
They
he-
find him all caveman.
He's not dead. He's alive in the second movie.
Well, this is
Surrounded
the
by-
thing.
It doesn't.
No!
You're reading too much into it. It's just a movie. He's
This
alive in the
happens
second
to
movie.
me every time. I watch a first movie of a franchise, and then James is like, well, that's not right. I'm like, I am doing theorizing on this movie that I just watched.
Okay.
Let me theorize on the movie that I
okay.
just watched.
Okay, we can do it.
I surrender.
We can roll.
Thank you.
We can roll with it. I mean,
You're the one who made the joke about kicking the bucket.
that is the basically it though. Like that's kind of where he's like, oh, are we live again?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it. He basically goes like,
It
"Oh,
cuts
I'm
to
all better,"
credits.
and it cuts the credits right after. It's
No,
kind
he says, my name is Lance. What was his last name?
from Lance. Yeah.
He does his sign off and
Yeah,
everything.
he does his sign off from Yep. He's like, "Oh, from Grave Encounters," signing off, and then
That's the movie.
credits.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this is a nostalgia piece for me and Shane.
I looked at it with as little nostalgia as I possibly like. I knew the effects were corny.
I couldn't help it.
I mean, here's the thing: the effects aren't on screen enough for you to be. I mean, you can recognize it, but it's not to the point where you're like, "This is fucking stupid." Like, I can tell this is so corny. Like, the scares are like instantaneous, and a lot of it is environmental and like the feel of it, which I can really respect for in a horror movie. It doesn't rely like the jump scares are good and not corny. The buildup is good, and there's a lot of environments around it, and the tone and the setting, all that stuff really plays a good role in it.
So I have a question for you guys. When do you think they slipped into the alternate reality?
I think,
I want to say maybe when the sun set.
honestly, it could have been right from the get-go.
Like right
No,
when they got
because
locked in.
the phone call. Because he called.
that's right.
He got his phone call,
So it
and
could
the
have been right
walkies were
after.
working initially.
It could have been right after, because that's when all the paranormal shit, when he got off the phone with his girlfriend and his
Yeah.
daughter, that's when
Like,
shit
could have
started
been right from the
happening.
door slam.
Mm.
Because,
Like, as soon as the door slammed, who knows?
yeah.
Did the walkies work after the door slammed? That's what I'm trying to
I
remember.
don't think.
It was probably just some time between when the walkie worked and it didn't work. I don't think it's really made clear, and I think that's probably on purpose.
I'm trying to think. Did they walkie? No, they couldn't reach Matt when
Yeah.
they went to send the two of them downstairs. So
So it's
probably from the door slam.
yeah, like just the first visible activity. Essentially, now you know we're here. Now you can't leave.
Yeah.
You know, is my kind of that's how I would probably state it. But I do love that this is basically the original Backrooms, like essentially that concept of just being stuck in another plane in endless rooms, essentially. Just never being able to find a way out.
Yeah, they did just clip out of reality, I guess.
Pretty much.
One of our Discord members literally just said today that he's at a hotel right now and it looks like the Backrooms, and I just
scary.
told him that I think he clipped out of reality IRL. Oh, that's that place in Atlanta. That's the
I don't like it.
that's the
Is that the Atlanta airport?
no, that's the hotel that like Loki was filmed at. A whole bunch of things are filmed at that hotel. Sorry, I didn't look at the pictures yet. So that's that I think.
I like it.
I'll ask him maybe, but I'm pretty sure that looks like that place in Atlanta.
Speaking of, well, actually, we're not there yet. How many mats would you give this movie out of 10?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Honestly, like, here's the thing. Like, it's not something you want to watch expecting an absolutely mind-blowing story with incredible character development. That you're getting something that is going to send shivers down your spine, and I think it does that. I'm going to give it 8.5 mats out of 10.
8.5 mats. How many mats?
So I disagree. I think there's really good character development in this movie.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's just because I walked in kind of expecting a parody of like Ghost Adventures and stuff, and that's what I was getting at first.
Right.
But especially with Lance, we got a whole bunch of character development
You're not
from
wrong.
the beginning to the end.
To be fair, I said like insane. There is definitely some. I want to retract my reword it. There is definitely some character
It's heavy
development.
heavy on the scares, not on the story.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah,
there
but
is
I
good
think-
character development.
I think there's more character than a lot of horror movies get.
Yeah.
I should have worded that differently.
No,
I
you're
agree.
good.
No, I agree.
I'm scared.
I am scared currently.
This movie did scare me. Like it certainly sent shivers down my spine. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Mats.
8 mats out of 10.
8 mats out of 10. Well, this movie is... I chose not to separate the nostalgic element from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was still very strong for me. It just reminds me, whenever I watch it, it reminds me of like sitting in my basement watching Ghost Adventures, and also that night that we did watch it originally when we were in middle school.
I was scared.
It's so funny actually being able to watch the movie, because I won't lie, I was watching the movie back when I was in middle school, like with one eye, essentially.
Yeah.
And that eye would be like going kind of in and out of being covered because I was freaked.
No, I was scared, and I'm not ashamed to say, like, when I'm scared of a movie, that movie does scare me.
Because while there is solid character work with Lance Preston, I do think the movie on a whole is more of a thrill ride rather than a like story piece. But here's the thing: I love rides, so I'm giving this 9 mats out of 8.5 mats out of 10.
Agreeing with me.
Before we get off of the movie, I just remembered that I wrote down a question about this movie that I really wanted to ask, and then I forgot about it. How do you think people got the footage? How do you think we found the footage?
That
I have a theory. Or at least
it's not
idea.
a theory. It's explained in the second movie.
It is explained in the second movie.
Yes.
I forget.
Okay, never
Explain
mind.
how it's explained.
It's explained.
Stay close, stranger. The room awaits you after these messages.
All these movies and all their freaking sequels.
Remember that guy?
The producer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It basically gets into his hands. The people that go in somewhere in the second movie get it to him or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah. It's something along those. I haven't seen the second one in God knows how long. It's something along those lines. The producer gets the footage because there's another group that goes in the second movie. Again, if you guys cover the second movie, you guys can get into that.
Yeah.
I'm so mad about doing sequels when I haven't seen a whole franchise yet, because I do all this theorizing just from seeing the original movie, and every single time my theories get shut down.
I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
That's just how it is.
No, you should just pretend that the next movie doesn't exist yet and let me keep talking.
That's hard. Because then we're gonna inevitably have someone be like, in like the comments, if I pretend to not know, we'll be like, well, in the sequel, like
if you watch the second fucking movie,
like that's the thing. Like, I think it's like if you're explaining your theory and then I explain and then I say, well, this is how it is, and it's more fun when it matches, because there's times where it does match up and you're right.
You shouldn't tell me how it is. You should just be like, well, you'll have to see the second movie.
Well, noted. Speaking of movie, this is not speaking of movie. We have a Discord.
Yeah, we do.
You can come and talk to us.
I mentioned it earlier.
Discord.gg
DD
/Jumperscape. I'm sure you can find it in the links below of whatever platform you're watching. You can go there and you can ask us questions that we are going to answer right now in our Q&A, which we have not done.
We did it last week.
No, we didn't. Didn't we do it last week?
Did we skip Q&A last week? Oh, yeah, we were running late.
Yeah, we were running late for something we had to go to, so we skipped Q&A last week, and we had to do terminals last week. So we've been a bit patchy with Q&A. Apologies. But we're back, and we're doing it now, and we're doing it live.
We'll do it live.
Ray wants to know, if you had an unlimited budget, what kind of horror movie would you make?
Ooh. Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I was going to say...
Guest goes first.
I was going to say, let me go... Yeah, okay, I like that. It would be something relatively similar to Grave Encounters. Like, I would take aspect, like I like slashers, like slasher movies are have some of the best classical horror elements and some of the best horror movies ever. But I'm all for like paranormal horror. My favorite horror movie of all time is The Exorcist. I like The Conjuring. Ashton just fist pumped. Great. I don't want to say it's one of my favorite, but one of the most, if I would have to say, like, I think Grave Encounters is one of the most underrated horror movies out there, because it went straight to Netflix in 2011. It didn't have like a theatrical release. It went right to Netflix. So I'd probably make something very, very similar to this and just take aspects from, a lot of classic paranormal horror movies.
Nice. Ashton?
So I'd probably make something similar to Skinamarink.
Analog horror.
Yes, because analog horror is a horror that like a type of horror that I understand and would be able to like write for and like direct for. Whereas like these movies, like I get them, I like enjoy them, but I wouldn't be able to write a paranormal horror movie that would be good, and I wouldn't be able to direct a paranormal horror movie as much as I would like to.
That's a good answer. It's a practical answer. Mine's not very practical. So the movies that speak to me the most are the ones that are honestly like at their core very heartfelt, very human stories. So whether it be like an adaptation of like a story I really like for instance, I think there's a lot of untapped potential with, I don't like using the dirty word, which is creepypasta, but internet horror stories. There's a lot of those that I really like that I feel like would work well on screen, but essentially something kind of homey, coming of age, maybe a creature feature. It probably would be, or maybe something a little bit more real.
Please don't put Baraska on screen. I don't think that's a good idea.
I wasn't even saying that specifically.
You just said creepypasta and homey, and I was like,
the thing is, like, if there was restraint, I feel like that would work as like a Netflix series or something like that. I would not want you to like. I wouldn't want anyone to watch it if they weren't ready for it. But I'm more just saying like stories.
I don't think you'd get the horror without, showing all of that. So
yeah, well, that's not what I was picking.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Sorry, I gotta stop.
Adaptations of like stories I like. I'd want to adapt something personally. Yeah. Do y'all prefer standalone horror movies, or do you prefer movies with lots of sequels / franchises? And if you prefer them with sequels, when is the cutoff series of what is the cutoff point where a series should end?
Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to go standalone. And the one example that came to my head immediately, some of the sequels are good, but it is so drawn out. The Halloween franchise. Some of the movies are so god awful. Even like the recent I don't even know what, like the newer Halloween movies. Like the first one,
is that Halloween Kills?
Halloween Kills was I thought that Halloween Kills was okay.
Yeah,
Halloween
fine.
Halloween 2018 I actually thought was the best one out of all the newer ones. But like all the ones that like were carried through the 70s, 80s, and 90s and early 2000s, so drawn out, and just like the way they changed Michael Myers, like his characteristics, his outfit, his mask. Like it's cool to see different versions, but the quality of the movie have just gone like they're absolutely terrible. I'll always if you can make a one-time banger, let it be. Let it be. Especially in this day and age where like we're really revisiting like old horror franchises, Halloween, It. There's just so like if something's good, you don't have to revisit it. Make something new and creative. If something was good, let it be. Let it inspire you, but you don't have to make a sequel.
It's a hard question because I sort of agree with Shane, but I also find the really bad second movie to be hilarious, and then the randomly really good third movie to be so awe-inspiring. You know what I mean? How they tend to go through that sort of thing.
Well,
I think in a lot of cases, the third / fourth is always the nail.
Well, think about it this way: the original Exorcist sequels, wasn't the third one good?
Yes, that's a case where that's true.
Exactly.
But I'm thinking like that's in terms of like, okay, like Halloween 2 is decent. Halloween 3, I love it. I'm a defender.
A lot of people don't like it.
Everyone hated.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking of like Scream 2, decent sequel. Scream 3, not very good. So I think it just
3 again.
That was the Hollywood one.
It was so funny.
It was still the thing is Scream doesn't have any bad movies. Honestly.
Scream, you should not have even brought into this conversation.
Okay,
but I think I like franchises.
But that also the thing is your interpretation is also true. I think it just because also I'm thinking of like Nightmare, where the first one's a banger, second one's terrible, and then the third one's a banger.
Yeah.
I'm actually repping Nightmare 3 right now. But
Yeah.
I don't know, should I answer now or
Well, I didn't get a chance to fully answer.
Sorry.
I just said I kind of agree with Shane, but I'm kind of thinking, no, I think franchises are good because it gives people a chance to create new stories in a universe that they love, without having to like, do basically the same character with a different name in a different movie. And we get redemption arcs. So I like that.
That's a good answer.
All right, now you get to answer, James.
I don't know.
Great answer.
I mean, I'm someone who always goes through entire series, and for me, it's like I like long-term storytelling. If there's a plan, like, and it feels like genuine that the story continues, I'm all for it. But there's a lot of movies that just don't need sequels. There's a lot of Halloween sequels that I do like. But nothing has ever touched the original is the problem. But at the same time, when I look at something like Friday the 13th, that's just made for sequels. It's cheap, kill fest, like goofy sequel after sequel. And that's kind of what its bread and butter is. But also there's just a bunch of movies like It Follows and Midsummer and
I love It Follows.
all of
It's
these
so
movies
good.
that only had the one installment, and that's all they needed. I'd say if I had to put a ratio on, because this is hard because it means I have to exclude firsts in franchises when like a lot of those are my favorite horror movies. But if I had to say on the average, most standalone movies are better than sequels.
Right. I don't think you should like never do them, but like some of the Conjuring sequels are actually good. I mean, some are hit or miss. I remember me and James went and saw The Nun in theaters, and it was kind of a joke.
It was terrible.
It was really not good.
Like, yeah, the jump scares would get me every now and then, but like it was not a good movie.
Right. I mean, if you
So
want to call,
Is that Blumhouse?
Yes.
Yes.
That sounds
the-
like a Blumhouse.
Blumhouse
they're
is
so,
interesting.
They're so inconsistent.
The thing is, like, Blumhouse is a big part of the horror boom of like this decade, but at the same time, they make what I'd say on average the lowest quality
Right.
horror movies of the decade. Because the thing is, they pick up a bunch of ideas. They pick up good movies. They pick up bad movies. They like, that's just how it works. Like, who wanted, like, literally someone at Blumhouse was just like, we should make a movie about Truth or Dare. And it got greenlit before a script was even written. And then Truth or Dare happened, and it's terrible.
I've never seen it. I've heard bad things.
It's a movie.
Yeah, I've heard bad things. I've heard bad things.
That we will probably cover one day if we're bored.
No, we will because I want to watch it.
Batman. Oh, that was from Huffy1221, by the way. I always forget to say the people who ask these questions.
I don't think you said the person of the first
Ray.
question.
I said that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I must have missed
You
it.
got that one.
Batman, the famished, asks favorite FNAF character and why. This is definitely mostly a question for Ashton, but I have
Shane?
an answer.
You have to start though.
Foxy.
Why?
Foxy scared me the most when I first saw the games.
That's fair.
So I think Foxy looks the creepiest. So Foxy's my favorite character.
See, this is hard.
She's going to pull out the most obscure character known to me. She's going to be like someone from the Mediocre Melodies.
It's
The cupcake.
No, it's probably Cassidy, who is one of the. Oh God, shut up!
Yeah, that
it's
character.
She's one of the souls
Always.
inhabiting.
I know this.
I'm explaining. Let me explain, Shane. She's one of the souls inhabiting Golden Freddy. She is the she is the vengeful spirit. So she's the one who is inspired, like leading the gang into being murderous and stuff. And she's the one who keeps until recently, keeps William trapped in forever hell that we see in Ultimate Custom Night.
William.
I like Springtrap. I think his character design is cool.
I also do like Susie, who's in Chica, because I like Burn Chica's line from Ultimate Custom Night. I was the first. I have seen everything.
Spooky, scary.
Yeah, she has the best scary line.
But yeah, I like Springtrap. Not like specifically William Afton. I like FNAF 3 Springtrap because I think he's cool looking.
FNAF 3. I like.
Speaking of which, favorite FNAF game and why? These questions must have come in after the FNAF episode came out.
Absolutely.
I can't really answer this. I've never played any of them in its entirety.
Have you like watched any of the playthrough?
Like, pick which one was the most fun to watch?
What's the one where you put on the
FNAF 2?
The mask. Is that FNAF 2? Yes, that one. The balloon boy in the vent scared me.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
That's an actual like real answer that probably would actually happen with people who've played the games.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's another hard question. Ultimately, I think I have to go with Sister Location, otherwise known as 6. Because I thought it was 6.
Pizzeria
No,
Simulator
Pizzeria
6.
Simulator 6. No, yeah, it is 5. I like Sister Location because that's when like the whole like storyline thing actually like really starts becoming a thing. And I like Elizabeth. I like Baby because she's, so creepy.
I'm going to pick the first one. Not only because it's the only one that we played on stream, by the way. We do that sometimes.
We're working on another one, we promise, guys.
But even though we played and beat the 5 Nights together, I still consider it as like I beat it because you also beat it. We beat it together.
We beat it together.
And that game just still has such a great atmosphere. It gets less scary when you really get used to the mechanics, and I hate that I got like so used to the mechanics. No, that's
the only way you can beat the game is getting used to the mechanics.
I wish I could use the mechanics the way that they were like meant to be used, like checking the cameras like individually and like really taking in the atmosphere, but really it's check Foxy, check Freddy, door light, do over again.
And I think that is what's so good about Five Nights at Freddy's is that, the recent games are going to age badly, but the original games, I think that fear factor and like the mechanics, I just think it's not gonna stop scaring people. And it's always gonna be a game that people can play and be like, wow, that was a great game. It scared me.
Nice. Ray is back again, and he wants to know, what's a horror movie that you didn't initially know was horror when you watched it? Did you ever have a movie that you went in to watch?
That's an interesting.
Not knowing it was horror?
No, I can't say that. Every time I've like wanted to go see a horror movie, I knew it was good. Like there's been movies that have horror elements.
I'm trying to think if I have anything like that.
I definitely have, and I can't remember what the movie was.
I can't. I've seen movies that aren't supposed to be horror that have horror elements.
Sorry, I'm gonna edit your question, Ray, for me and Shane because I don't think we have an answer. Ashton might. She hasn't indicated yet. I'm just gonna say for me and you, let's say like, is there a movie that wasn't a horror movie that scared you as a kid? That was notable.
Oh God,
because I have several.
I mean, a lot of Sam Raimi stuff. I mean, not as a kid, but just like all like Sam Raimi is huge on horror.
So he would. Did like Spider-Man scare you?
What did?
Did Spider-Man scare you?
Venom did.
I was gonna say probably like Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 freaked me out. I wasn't like young, but Venom definitely freaked me out a little bit. Can't lie. There was horror. There was a lot of horror elements in Spider-Man 3.
When I think of non-horror movies that scared me as a kid, there's one answer that comes to mind, and that's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Harry Potter
and Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban. So
the Dementors scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
There's jump scares in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Who's the little girl that haunts the bathroom?
Myrtle.
She scared me. She freaked me the fuck out.
Oh, Moan.
Yeah, the way she talked was just stop.
That's how that lady talks too.
I know it scares
and she's
me.
She's like a 30-year-old woman in that plays that little girl too. Yeah.
Were the Dementors like the cloak?
Yeah.
Literally the Grim Reaper and looked like
They scared me so much
The
as a
one
kid.
scene where they were
I had to
on
close my eyes.
The one scene where they were on the train and it's like creeping by. Yeah, that scared me. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, no, the Harry Potter movies definitely are scary.
Dobby scared me.
And Goblet of Fire, it's funny because Goblet of Fire, what scared me was the maze. And little did I know, nothing really even happens in that scene.
No.
He's just running through the maze. But I just remember being so scared by the setting that I closed my eyes like the entire time when I saw it in
Are
theaters.
you about to say a spoiler or something?
I'm waiting for you to be done.
I'm done. That's pretty much it.
So there was. It's not.
Also, Voldemort scared me.
It's not a movie. It was a game I played that I didn't know it was a horror game.
Ooh.
You said maze. The scary maze game. My neighbor tricked me. If you guys remember the scary maze
I
game.
remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you basically, my buddy told me, he's like, oh, you can play this and like you get a prize at the end, and you get like it's just like 4 out of 4. There's like 4 mazes you got to complete. First 2 are fine, and it tricks you because you get like halfway through the third, and Linda Blair from The Exorcist, all in her Exorcist getup, pops up on the screen and it just screams so fucking loud. So not a movie, but it was a game. My buddy didn't tell me it's technically a horror game.
So
that's the closest I can come.
So not a movie, but a car commercial.
That's another one. Yeah, that's another one.
I was literally on my way
to look up the scary car
I literally
commercial.
was going on here because I was just going to say, anyone else triggered
loud.
immediately when they hear this?
Scares the shit out
Now go change your shorts and get back to work. I don't think that's what it originally said.
No, I don't
I think
think
that's
so
something else.
either.
I
It was like
being like a battery commercial or something like
No, it is an actual commercial
Yeah, in Germany, I think.
for like electric cars or something.
But that was like, I remember my dad making me watch that. It was such bullshit.
That's traumatizing.
I had the one male dancer at my dance studio be like, "Yo, Ashton, watch this video," and I was like, "Okay, it's a car commercial. What?" And I literally, there's classes going on. I'm standing outside of like a dance. I go. They stopped everything. The teacher came running
make sure you
around
weren't
to
dead.
make sure I wasn't dying. And I was like, I'm sorry, he scared me. And this kid was mortified. Oh boy.
Was that your answer, by the way?
Yes, that's my answer, I guess.
Okay, one more question.
Okay.
This one is also from Batman the Famished. Do you plan on covering any action horror movies such as Jurassic Park or Terminator? Maybe. Ashton doesn't count those as horror movies, but I do.
Yeah, I want to watch them mostly because I want to discuss counting them as horror movies.
This goes into the debate of what horror adjacent means.
Mhm.
Some people say that has to be like horror comedy or horror action, like with expressed horror. But I think anything that is still a horrifying scenario counts as horror adjacent. Jurassic Park is a horrifying thing, and it scared me too when I was a kid. So probably.
Like, I want to go through and like
It's
watch
just a debate
like
on what movie that would be.
Jaws and
Jaws is a horror movie. Jaws is a horror movie.
Jaws and Jurassic Park. I consider Alien to be a horror movie, but
Alien
Alien's
is a horror
absolutely
movie.
a horror movie.
Yes.
it's like a creature feature, right?
It's literally a horror. It's one of the most suspenseful movies of all time.
I've never seen Alien.
Here's the thing.
Alien is a.
I've been saving it for a long time because I
It's
didn't
gonna
want
be
to
in
watch
the
it
movie
alone.
theaters.
And we're gonna miss it
Are we?
because we're gonna. I mean, I guess we could still go see it
We
in the
could
theater.
still go see it in theaters. Just later in
Do
the
we want to
week.
experiment with like seeing a movie not immediately before a show if we wanted to do Alien? We're live planning. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it.
Well, yeah.
Shane,
What?
do you think we should?
I was gonna say that question didn't really apply to me.
I'm making it apply to you.
I mean, like, I like the idea of like considering horror adjacent movies. Terminator, I don't think so. Jurassic Park, I look at as a horror
I'd say
movie
the
way
original
more.
Terminator you could make an argument
Yeah,
for, but
definitely.
honestly, I'm more of a Terminator 2 kind of guy.
Terminator has a lot of boobies in it.
It does.
You want to talk about a horror Jurassic Park movie? What is it? Lost World? What's it called? Jurassic Park.
The Lost World?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one is like, it's like looked at as like the darkest Jurassic. That one fucked me up as a kid.
Did you not like it when Eddie, the bald guy, got ripped in half by the T-Rex?
No, because he was like a nice guy, and it just showed like, yeah, nature doesn't give a fuck about who's
Little
a nice
kid
guy.
me was like a psychopath when it came to
And
dinosaurs.
you laughed, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing. Okay, when T-Rexes like ate people, like I don't know why there was something Looney Tunes about it when I was a kid.
That's fucked up.
Okay, like the lawyer getting eaten off the toilet. That
No,
shit's
that's
hilarious.
Funny. No, that's kind of funny.
Now when I watch The Lost World, I feel so bad because Eddie's such a nice guy, but I didn't listen to dialogue as a kid, so I didn't know anything about his character. Like he was like, but that was true until Jurassic Park 3, when the balding guy in that movie, when like the raptors use him as bait and then they like walk over and snap his neck.
Yeah.
Oh.
That scared me as a kid. That was the moment I was like, dinosaurs aren't so nice, actually.
Dinosaurs
Like,
are scary.
Yeah, my biggest thing for Jurassic Park and being a horror movie is the scene where Laura Dern has the hand. That's where I'm like, that's horror.
that's literally a horror movie scene right there.
That's
and then she
horror.
gets jump scared by the raptor.
Yeah.
I never quite understood how the hand got on her shoulder.
I don't think. Well, the thing is, they were good. The hurricane was real. Like that was not set dressing. The hurricane did happen. Like I'm sure they also did fake hurricane, obviously, like, on sound stages. But they were on location. They were on location in Costa Rica to film Sam Jackson's death scene. But they ran out of time because they couldn't do it because of the storm. So they just had to make they couldn't film his death scene. So they just were like, have his arm fall on her or something.
And now it's iconic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because we were originally supposed to see Sam Jackson get killed by the raptor, but we never got that.
That's kind of cool.
But anyway, do you guys know we have a Patreon?
No, I didn't actually.
This show
That's
wouldn't
crazy.
exist without it. It's true. So yeah, it's patreon.com/Jumperscape. So please go on over there to support us. We have, this has become quite an event. I'm going to read the Patreon names now.
Oh boy.
It hurts! Shane, why did you shoot us, Shane? Why? Oh!
Potassium.
That was potassium. Jacob Adlam, Scion Esports. The garage door is broken. We can't get out. Okay, I'll let you out when I get home. They claim that they can't open my garage. I've tried to tell them.
Sounds like a you problem.
The switch is in there.
That's I tried to make this argument. I'm like, how are you locked in a garage from the inside? Like you can press the fucking button, get out. You can literally leave.
The button's not in the house.
It's not that
in the
hard.
Garage.
You just open it. It's default 456. Dark Salad 42. Dick Hammerbush. Crowbar Shrub. Halo the Guy. I'm the real Dick Hammerbush, you bastard. They didn't change these. Lactating Gator. Mando. Margarita Ortega. Mr. Shifter James Zealot. No, I'm the real Dick Hammerbush. Connor's not here to react to these. I'm sorry. Oh, fuck. It's the FBI. Run. Ian, run. What did Ian do? Seth Rutherford. Spartan Dave. Captain Varco UNSC walks softly. Cool Blazer. Shane the Grunt. I'm not reading that. H Ghost. Kyle Hooley. Last Dawn Reactions. Mo Maggot Yallin. Spartan Hubuko G156. Vermin. Addy Criminal. Austin Special Ungoy Stepchild.
Oh my god.
Big Feet the Pondered. Connor Clark. Dapper Dame. Numbers are hard when you put them in your name. It takes me a second. Dylan Lactating Milk MT, Linda Marie, Mass the Merc 664, Onyx Diablo, The Freaking Batman, Lactation of Mercy, A Slightly Sucked On Chili Dog, Brendan Pfeiffer, Sky Cairo, Deedle. You know who you are.
What?
JX O'Malley, Keith G077, Oddball Here, Tyson Rue 88, For we're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You shouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
Is that all the same person? Or
Nope, that was 3 different people.
Oh my God.
Did they all know that they were going to be one after the other?
They have a Discord of their own where they plan this stuff.
That's insane.
Oh my word.
So yeah, if you want to join the Council of Patreon names, join the Discord and be on Patreon, and you can also coordinate these ridiculous names for us to read out loud within reason. Aussie ODST, Austin Taylor, Damian Groth, Dr. Lactator, Dragon Eye, Face McShooty, Zealot, Wart, Ginger Boy Headass. Going on, we know the game and we're going to play it, and ask me how I'm feeling. Don't tell me you're too blind to see. James is saying Healy Toddler, Mando 2.0, Pity 104, Snake Man, The Goob. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but
I'm sorry, you have a toddler?
But I do. But you're too shy to say it. Inside, we both know what's been. Wraith Connor, I'm the Wraith you saw last night. X3Tian, Skenji, I think that's how you say it. Daniel Dumpweed. Fun fact, there is a chronicler who is not in the Discord. I'm looking at you, Snake Nipples. Garrus Vicarian, It's Carrie, Keegan, and of course, Ungoy Food Nipple.
Yay.
Thank you once again for tuning into Room 237. This was a long-ass episode, so thank you for sticking around. Good night and good morning.
Thank you for joining us this evening, stranger. If you enjoyed your time with us, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/Jumperscape or join the community at discord.gg/Jumperscape. We thank you for your listenership and hope you enjoyed.